So I first saw this grinder and this man in 2005 at the Northwest Blacksmith Association conference, and I've been kind of coveting this grinder ever since. And he just sold it to me. Thank you, Cy. So at 2005, Bill Vian gave me these blacksmith tools, and a week later, the Northwest Blacksmith Association conference was at Allen Flashing. So Flashing Forge, they've been around, he's been around a long time, he does cool stuff. And I went into this conference on fire with the tools that I've just got. Here's all these guys. There's long hairs and old Marines and just a cross-section of the blacksmith community, and it was awesome. So anyway, he just sold me this grinder. Let's have a look at it. See, what do you know about this, Cy? Anything? I mean, you saw it at the conference.
I don't really know anything about it except it's a 2-horse motor. These are 12-inch wheels. It moves metal like crazy, and this wire brush will tear everything off.
Including chunks of your hand.
Yeah, you don't want to get anything caught in it, except it does have a good guard around it. I just haven't been using it. I use my belt sanders for pretty near everything. I hardly ever use a grinder unless it's one of my right angle grinders.
And you just got a new belt grinder.
I have bought a new belt grinder that I'm making a surface grinder for, and this was in the way.
So you're making a magnetic chuck to work with your 2x84?
It's 2x82, but I think I can convert it. I was listening to Walter Sorrell. He did a critique on it, and he said by cutting 3 inches off of the main slide tool holder that it'll take a 2x72 belt.
And that's handier.
Yeah, there's no point in me having another set of belts hanging around there. I got them tangled up around my feet all the time anyhow.
Can't bear to throw one away, can you?
No.
All right, so manufactured by Multicraft. What is that, a 2-horse motor it says?
It's a 2-horse.
Lots of power.
Lots of power.
3-phase, I can run that in here.
Yeah.
What color should I paint this, Cy? Any idea what those were for?
Well, I think they're to catch the shavings. There's a kind of a scoop right above them.
A little dump right in there.
They could have an air.
A vacuum on there.
Yeah.
Huh. And this must have been a little water holder, a little water pot.
Yeah.
Little quench tank.
It first dipping your tools in there, but this thing will turn a piece of steel red in a second. So.
Well, I'm excited. I think it's going to go good in here. I think we might get Dave Van Slyke to help us. So hang with us for just a few more seconds. I'm going to take you back up to Cy's shop and show you the new 2x72 if he modifies it, and the surface grinding attachment for flattening out his knives. What's it going to do to you or for you to have that surface grinding attachment?
I think it'll save my wrist quite a bit by letting me get all that scale and stuff off them before I actually start to.
Particularly off the Damascus billets, right? Yeah.
And it'll allow me to square up my Damascus billets, because I've been doing some feather patterns, and if they're on that last weld, if everything's all nice and square and straight, it's not so apt to cave in and give up and go wonky.
Yeah.
So,
wreck your pattern. Let's see that wrist. What's the problem with your wrist?
oh, it's not too bad right now, but it swells up,
Oh yeah, that bump doesn't look healthy.
and then it's got some bad bones here that get in the way.
Cut into your hammer in a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you can still do her.
Yep.
That's all that matters. All right. Here's a look at Cy's new grinder.
Okay, this is my new surface grinder. It's not a new concept of by any stretch, because there's lots of guys making them. I copied this from Tyrell Knife Works off of YouTube. He had a list of all the parts and stuff to order, so it made it pretty easy. And the most complicated part of it is this adjustment here that raises and lowers the slide. And this has a set of roller bearings on it, and they roll on this slide with these tracks on it, and it's pretty tight. It's relatively tight, and I've got it set up now to where I'm only 3 or 4 thousandths out from side to side, and about 6 or 7 thousandths out from end to end on a blank. So that's pretty good tolerances. The thing I've found out with it is that it's awfully easy to overgrind. You tend to get your knife blades a lot thinner, and I'm not quite sure why psychologically you're not stopping. Maybe you're just having so much fun. But that's not it. I think by doing it by hand, you're wanting to stop because you're getting tired, and this doesn't hurt my shoulder near as much, and it doesn't hurt my wrist, and I'm more cognizant of being absolutely flat than I was before, and I might stop a little bit short of being flat, so I was thicker. And this way I'm going clear flat, and it's getting thinner. I've had to put a little stop on the bottom here to keep the billet from sliding down, and a lot of times I will go over to the hand sander and take the rough scale off of this before I put it on there, and I'm not sure whether that's efficient or not.
So did you build the little bed with the magnets on it, or show
Yes,
us that?
yeah, I built that on the mill. It's
Here's a blank. You want to click something on there? Wow.
there's 24 didinium magnets on it, and it's pretty strong.
Cool.
Another thing I found is that the belt seems to last way longer, and I don't quite understand that. If you're doing it by hand, you got to keep it cool enough you can hold on to it.
Right.
And this way, you don't have to stop and cool it all the time, so you're getting it actually done a lot faster.
Yeah.
But can you see the surface, Nate?
It looks like it's pretty much perfect.
The reason I was having trouble when I was starting the other side is that this side had a hump in it.
Oh.
I didn't have it clear flat, and we'll have high points on both ends now, but it'll grind out pretty fast.
Cy Swan is 88 years old. Now just let that sink in for a minute. And like I mentioned, I first met him about 20 years ago, more or less. I think he was 68 years old, which is 2 years older than I am right now. And it would be utterly impossible for me to list all of the things that he's taught me. But as you watch him working right now, you're watching him teach us all that while getting old and losing strength is inevitable, surrendering and throwing up your hands and quitting with a whimper is not. Cy was the first man I ever heard quote, from memory, Rudyard Kipling's poem, If. And now I can tell you that like few I've ever met, he is demonstrating the absolute truth of the last stanza. It goes like this. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.